Hi, I'm Matthew. Smartphone use is widespread in society today, and even though much of the literature suggests that more smartphone use is bound to increase negative affect, what I found was that putting an emphasis on the individual is crucial when analyzing this relationship. Those who are already doing well or who have high well being could potentially have an even higher well being because of smartphone use. And inversely, those who already have a low well being could potentially get worse because of increased smartphone use. This is important because smartphones have become such an ingrained part of daily life for so many people, and the effects that it has on our emotional well being ought to be examined. It's a potential health issue. So, as a class, we ran two studies to measure the relationship between smartphone use and emotional well being without the emphasis on the individual. In study one, the purpose was to explore the relationship between smartphone use and positive and negative affect, aka well being. The research question was, how does smartphone use relate to positive and negative affect and life satisfaction? I hypothesized that increased smartphone use will negatively relate to well being. Participants were people who clicked the link posted by researchers on social media, so mostly college age people or students. We used the Spain and satisfaction with life scale. We found that there is a weak relationship between smartphone use and negative emotional affect, which supports the hypothesis. The study 2 summary is that the purpose was to examine the relationship between no smartphone use at all for a 24-hour period and well-being and life satisfaction. The research question for study 2 was, how does a lack of smartphone use for 24 hours affect well-being? I hypothesized that no smartphone use will positively relate to well-being. It was within subject's design, and participants were us, the students of the research methods class, and there were 14 of us whose data was used in the final analysis. We found that there was a strong positive relationship between no smartphone use and positive affect. Overall, the results of both studies 1 and 2 supported the researchers' hypothesis, though more research should be conducted on this relationship. The limitations to study 1 were that the study was correlational in nature and that participants weren't randomized, as well as the fact that most of the participants were within the same demographic, college-age students. However, some strengths of study 1 were that it had a large sample size, was pre-registered, and had high ecological validity. The limitations of study 2 were that it was a small sample size and that participants couldn't be randomized to conditions. A strength was that it was within subject's design, so that it was identical between both trials. Or not trials, but time 1 and time 2. For future studies, I would suggest a larger sample size for study 2 and a randomization of participants to conditions for both studies. My opinion on the big picture of this project is that the results were what we expected, which helps support the idea that increased smartphone use has a negative relationship with emotional well-being. The results were statistically significant, so I think that repeating both studies could really help to place causality in this issue and will eventually help us to coexist with our smartphones in a more healthy way that does not have such a negative relationship with our emotional well-being. Thank you.